Shut up.
I just came from work. I'm tight, nigga.
I don't even know if that worked that time. Did it work?
I don't know, man.
This is one of the hardest things I've ever done on a week. This is like the hardest thing I do every week. I'm pretty sure. Internet, welcome to the show again. I'm again very frustrated. Thankfully, Rip's here to help everyone, including Fab and Rickstah and everyone else involved, get everything together. As usual, I'm joined with Rip and Rickstah. What's up, guys? How you guys doing?
Hola.
And we have a special guest here, NYCfab, fresh off of his bunghole ruining by JDCR. We're going to get to that later. How you doing, man?
I'm good. What's up?
All right, man. Thanks for coming on. So there's a lot of things I want to talk about. There's a lot of events that have occurred. ECT was last weekend. One of the main reasons I had you on, Fab, is because you did exceptionally well there, only losing to JDCR, right?
Yeah, just losing JDCR.
Very
Sucked.
impressive. And you also have been playing Injustice, and that was a relatively big tournament for Injustice, right?
Yeah, it was. There was a lot of people, man.
That's
It was
what I
crazy.
heard.
Yeah.
So I guess one step at a time. Let's. I'm kind of really interested in the JDCR topic, so I'm gonna save that till the end. So let's talk a little bit about Injustice. First of all, I want to hear about ECT because I wasn't there, so I want to know how many people entered, how was the tournament, the general competition, and everything like that. How'd it go?
All right. How many people entered? I probably couldn't tell you. I say it's about 100 or so.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Probably. I'm pretty sure about 100 or so. Cause at least the East Coast scene is pretty big right now. Cause everybody's playing Street Fighter players. You know, we're playing Tekken players. Everybody's playing. So
Interesting.
everybody win. It's pretty hype. I mean, ECT is probably one of the better East Coast tournaments, for the most part. Cause Long Island Joe and Sweet Johnny Cage, they hosted, and they always do a good job like getting it hype, getting the crowd live. So it was a fun event. You know. I got bopped. You know, I got bopped by your favorite character, Aris, which is a bad matchup for my character, but it's all good.
Easy peasy. Not like this.
I was just about to bring up that picture. That
I have
picture
no
is
idea what you're
too
talking
good.
Who's
man.
the other guy?
It's Christie's face on Deathstroke's body.
Yeah.
Oh my.
I'm like, man.
That would be
Run
so
it.
tight if Deathstroke was Christie under there. That would be really tight mix-ups.
I wouldn't turn the game off completely. I wouldn't even play the game if that was really true.
Hey, so who else beat
that.
you? I saw that match on the stream, but who else beat you?
I lost to him, and then I actually lost to a Superman player that I put in losers pretty free, and he came back. And he beat me with like 5 seconds left, but it was my fault. I'm a dumbass. Like it was like 4 seconds, yeah, 4 seconds left, and I had Wonder Woman because Lex can't fight that matchup either, so I used Wonder Woman, and it was like 5 seconds left, and he's trying to chip me with lasers. Like all the guy did was just shoot lasers all day. So I was like, yeah, good strat. So I was like, all right, I have the life lead. He doesn't have 4 bars, so he can't just kill me. So I put the shield stance on with Wonder Woman, and the shield stance reduces chip by a lot. I don't know about how much, but a good amount. So
Okay.
it was like, but I didn't realize that Injustice seconds are like Marvel seconds. So in 5 seconds is really 5 minutes. So then like the last freaking laser he shot at me, the last laser he got like the chip that you couldn't even see on the screen.
What?
And
That's
he
whack.
got me. Yeah, I could have flew around and just fucked him up, but I was being super lazy, so that was my fault.
You don't remember his name?
Stiff number 5. That's
Damn.
about it.
Is
I
his
put
name
him in
really
losers.
Stiff Number 5, or is that some kind of lingo that I don't know about?
Nah, that's my lingo for
Oh,
calling him
okay.
ass, but I lost.
All right. Well, I was gonna be like, well, good job, Stiff Number 5. Anyway, well, Stiff got you that time. And speaking of Deathstroke, that's kind of a hot topic these days. Well, how do you feel about the matchup?
I feel like, to be honest, I feel like people blow the matchup kind of out of proportion. I just haven't fought it enough. It's definitely a bad matchup, but it's not that bad. It's like 6-4. It's definitely winnable, but I just haven't fought Deathstroke enough to have the matchup experience.
Yeah, he's definitely one of interesting character. Go ahead, Rip.
No, you switched to Wonder Woman against a Superman, though, right? So you're using Wonder Woman as well?
Yeah, I'm using Wonder Woman as secondary for Lex's bad matchups, but since I was on stream and I figured I could beat Josh 360, he's like a Marvel 2 player, NBA player.
Yeah.
I figured I could beat him, so because I was like, he's not as good as me, so I figured I could beat him with Lex anyway. But it doesn't matter when matchups happen. So.
So why the hell are you using Lex? I mean, what the?
Cause man, everybody uses the same shit, and then I turned the game on, and I was like, all right, let me see what Lex could do. And I like that he's all mind games and trap setups and things like that. His damage sucks, but he's a really fun character to play. And his mix-ups are fast once he's in your face. Like he has a 15 frame overhead, 14 frame low. His mix-ups are really fast. His armor cancel that I figured out that, you know, if you dash out of your armor trait, you can go to level 3 armor without having to stand still.
Whoa.
So,
Wait, say that again?
When Lex, his armor trait, you don't have to stand still. Like you notice that when Lex charges up the armor, he like presses his hand and
he's checking Twitter. Got it.
Yeah, so but you can dash out, you can dash backwards or forwards, and it'll cancel the animation, but the trait will still go all the way up to 3 levels.
Okay.
Hey, that's pretty good. It's interesting though because to me, when I first picked this game up, there was a tournament coming up with a lot of money involved. So instantaneously, I was thinking, pick the cheapest thing ever. And to me, all the cheap stuff is not fun in this game. All the cheap characters are like Superman and Ocean Man and even, I mean, Black Adam's a little bit fun just because of the dive kick and he could just traverse the whole screen. But it feels like the characters that most of the people play in the game are just good and boring. And then when I finally came up on Deathstroke, it's like so much fun. You should try the character. I feel like a Jehovah's Witness or something, trying to get people to come to my church. Everyone, come play the Church of Deathstroke. It's so much fun.
And that's why I always close the door on them.
Dude, come on, man. I'll wash your dishes and do your laundry, amigo.
Imagine Eris with the white shirt and the tie riding the bike.
Looking mad stiff.
There's a church in Baldwin Park called the Church of Eris. No shitting you. I'll take a picture next time. Anyway, yeah, I mean, you know, the big talk of the town is Deathstroke's nerfs. And Superman's nerfs and just the nerfs in general combined with like the decisions they're making and stuff. I mean, I want to ask all of you guys, and I'll start with Rip because you've already stated your opinion to some extent via stream. But how do you feel about these nerfs and patches and the way the game is evolving in terms of from a development standpoint? How do you feel about it?
Well, I've been thinking a lot about this actually, and is that a cell phone? Jesus. Anyway, yeah, I've been thinking a lot about it, and I think NetherRealms has two groups of people to cater to, right? They've got the casual crowd, and they've got the tournament players. So, casual players, like when I saw Deathstroke immediately, I was thinking, okay, they have to patch this character because all the casual players are just going to give up on the game otherwise, right? It's just going to be ruined. So they have to patch Deathstroke, and so they patched him, but you know, you still won ways in that fight. So I think they did a pretty decent job of patching the things that the casual players complained about, but not really hurting it at a tournament level.
Okay, I have some thoughts on that, but I'll let Rickstah go ahead. How do you feel about the way the game's evolving?
It's interesting. I mean, they're actually, you know, trying to make a lot of changes. What I'm actually wondering about is, like, you know how we were talking outside of Super one day when Thrill House was there, right? And he was talking about how Killer Frost's overhead is what, -5 now? Before it used to be +3, and that was not in the patch notes.
Correct. Yeah.
So I'm wondering, you know, if that was actually intentional or not. You know, like what happens if it was everything in the patch notes?
Intentional?
No, like what I was saying. What happens if something in the patch notes, like they wrote down everything they intended to change, but for some reason, because of what they changed, you know, her overhead got nerfed or something. You know, like
well,
they didn't put that in.
Okay, that is possible.
It's just I'm just curious as to, like, you know, what else is in this patch that we haven't discovered yet.
Okay, you know what? They said that the sword spin for Deathstroke was supposed to be buffed, and in the patch notes, it didn't seem buffed. But then when I went and tested it myself, it felt like it was buffed. It doesn't matter in the end because I was testing it like the day of a tournament, so I wasn't going to use it because I just hadn't tried it yet. But from my testing, just in 5 minutes, it felt like it was plus on hit in the corner. So it's possible, I haven't done complete testing, but it's possible that they also buffed that without putting it in the patch notes or changing the frame data on the practice mode. Is that even possible?
That thing, as well as Superman's breath being -1 on block, were both from M2 Dave's rumor thread. Those were just the rumor changes that we were supposed to see. And that thread did not have like 90% of the changes that are in the official patch change list.
Right, but I'm not even talking about that thread. I'm talking about my testing, because I had read the thread, so then I tested it. And from what I tested in 5 minutes, it felt like it was plus on hit. When before the patch, I remember testing it with Charo, and it was like minus a grip on hit. So either my testing wasn't thorough enough and I just jumped to a conclusion, which is possible, or there are a lot of like stealthy changes going on in the game. Anyway, Fab, how do you feel about the game's evolution?
I feel like they're heading to the right direction, but I also feel like they're listening a little bit too much. Like, I don't think they should change every little thing people complain about. Like Deathstroke, I felt like Deathstroke, maybe the trap, because the one main thing people didn't like was the low gun, high gun trap thing, the frame trap, but I didn't feel like Deathstroke, even using Lex, I still didn't feel like Deathstroke was like that bad. I mean, maybe it's because of the games we come from, that we're used to, okay, Rip shaking his head, but I didn't feel like it was that bad. I don't know, but there are, what Rickstah did say though about things that they're not telling you about everything, that they patched is true, because Killer Frost, we did notice, Median CD Jr. and a few other people did notice that, actually another thing with Killer Frost, that her uppercut was buffed. Her down two hitbox was actually 100% buffed before patch. I mean after patch.
I thought her down two was always really good though.
It was good before, but it's even better. It like a lot of people was like, is it just me or is it better? But a lot of people did confirm that it is better now, but they didn't put that in patch notes.
I mean, I could believe it. I don't know. It's weird. Here's the thing. These NRS games, the funniest thing of all right now is that everyone's complaining about Deathstroke being nerfed and Superman and Black Adam not being nerfed and all this weird, like, hundreds of posts of people just babbling on about this. But the funniest thing of it all is that this is, of course I'm talking about Test Your Might forums, right? This is the Mortal Kombat community, yet for some reason they're not prepared for NetherRealm Studios. They should know. Do you not remember Upball? Kano Upball? I mean, they patched it and made it hella good, and then the next patch they made it hella shitty. I mean, these are the decisions that they make, I mean, I'm not saying they're bad decisions. I'm just saying when you put down $59.99 to buy an NRS game, you're buying some funky ass shit. When the game comes out, you're not buying that game. You're buying a game 6 months after that. So I can't believe that all these people on the forums are just so bent out of shape about it, because really, you should have known better. You should have known, because I knew that they were going to fuck the game up for sure, 100%. And look at Batgirl. Anyway, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, people know that they're going to patch the game, so if they make a big fuss about something, then they can help get it changed. Because they know that NRS is going to patch the game.
The thing that I honestly feel like they do is that, if I were them, I would do this too, is I would totally not even give a fuck about what anyone says, and I would do it internally. And that's what it feels like they're doing. I mean, who did they really listen to here? They nerfed Deathstroke, but they didn't nerf Superman, and in the end, all you see is Superman.
They didn't really nerf Superman.
They nerfed him. This is what I'm saying. This is exactly what I'm saying that they did, though. They're catering to both the tournament players and the casual players. So casual players are like, oh my god, Superman is unstoppable. So they say that they nerf Superman, and they do a slight damage reduction. It's obviously not a huge nerf, but they say that they nerf him. And the tournament players, they use him like, he's still the same. I think if they nerf him a lot, then he's going to be really bad overall. And he's Superman, so they're not going to make Superman bad. That's period.
I think to be honest, Superman is pretty much based on footsies and not get, like, everybody is so annoyed by the frame trap, and then people want to press buttons so bad. Like, that's footsies. You shouldn't nerf a character for footsies. Like, people just need to stop complaining. The one thing to me that's annoying is his super, because I feel like if you're both at even health and you have 4 bars, I feel like it could possibly be done. Or even if you're winning by a little bit,
man. I'm fucking Deathstroke. Not only can I not shoot guns, when he gets super, it's over. I mean, those guns are gonna. I might as well point point that shit in my own mouth. You know? What happened to your camera there, amigo? Anyway. Anyway,
it's good.
Yeah, what Rip was saying earlier about them trying to cater to multiple audiences, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if that's what they're really trying to do. When I first saw the patch notes, I immediately reacted in a negative way. I was like, man, fuck this. You know, like, all they did was listen to everyone crying and just nerf Deathstroke, which really sucks to me. And the interesting thing is, my opinion about the patch is that he actually did get nerfed a lot if you're playing him in one specific way. And just before the patch came out, I was having a lot of trouble with Black Adam, and right before the patch came out, I realized how you have to fight him, and that is to never shoot guns. You just have to wait for him to act, and you just can't use your guns. And now that the patch came out, it kind of feels like you have to play everyone that way. It doesn't mean you can't shoot them, it just means you have to be at the right position to shoot them. And when you do shoot them, you have to kind of want them to hit. Like, you can't just shoot them away and be like, Yosemite Sam and shit. You have to kind of put them in the right spots. And that's the only real difference to me. But, you know, it's hard to say. I mean, you can't just be like, oh, you know, Eris did well at one tournament, he's fine now. And half of the people that play at Wednesday Night Fights, and I openly will say this, they are just not good. I mean, they're good to an extent, but I feel like there isn't enough adaptation. Because when I fucking lost to P-Board Player, let me tell you, I wanted that guy real bad. I mean, I was thirsty for that guy, big time. So, and then also, when I started to have trouble with Black Adam, I was like, man, fuck Black Adam. I was just thinking about that match big time. But when I play some of the people at Wednesday Night Fights, I feel like they're not putting in the extra effort. What happens is Wednesday comes, they're like, oh, fuck, Eris is here. Oh, fuck Deathstroke. The next day they go back to playing with their amigos, and they're like, yeah, Batman and shit. And then they don't even think about me until next Wednesday. You know, that's the big problem, I think, with the local scene.
Well, the problem, one problem I noticed with your scene with that game is that, number one, they don't, I don't know if they can't see or they don't know that you can change stages. Number two is like, yeah, they can't see. Number two is yesterday, even though those nerfs happened, to be real, yesterday was the first time I seen you fight with Deathstroke. At least you still did, and you still won. So I mean, that's the first time I seen you like play footsies and use like more than like 3 moves. So it was really good to watch.
Man, you know what? In my defense, okay, why the fuck would I ever get near anyone when they can't get through the fucking guns? Yeah. Of course I know how to play the game, but if I could do that again, like my match against, I had a match off stream against a Sinestro player, and I don't have a lot of experience against Sinestro, but I do know how to punish his normals. If you guys watched that match on stream, you would have all thrown up, because all I did was stayed at this specific spot on the screen and shot him. That's it. That's still what you do against Sinestro. So it really is just a matter of matchups in the end. And personally, I couldn't care less if it's fun to watch or what. I just want to win and shoot guns. I don't even give a fuck if it's fun.
I don't blame you.
Yeah,
I don't blame you.
You know, go ahead.
Yeah, you win how you have to win. I mean, there's no problem in that. But I'm just saying though, it was yesterday was the first time I seen. I guess that you had to actually, use the tools, but you used them. But
yeah, it's definitely a factor. Go ahead.
But he has good normals. It's not like he doesn't. Like, people don't think he has good normals. I'm like, he has good normals. He has tools to fight. It's just you don't need to
character.
Yeah, I mean, my overall feeling on the character now is that he's one of those jack of all traits in terms of styles. Like, you can play him in many, many different ways. You could go mix up heavy or footsie heavy, or, jump around all day, or you could stay full screen as much as you want and run all day. But the end problem is that his just combo damage is so low that it just keeps him mortal. And this is the difference between him and Superman, I think. Superman, on the other hand, I think does everything perfectly. He's like the Ken Masters in Third Strike of this game. Like, he's just good at most things in the game. He has a lot of complete tools, good range, extremely good damage, and he can kind of like play that far range eye laser box jump type of game. So, I mean, there's no question in my eyes that Superman is a way better character than Deathstroke. It's just a matter of knowing it's not hard to know how to beat Superman when all he does is fucking one move and eye lasers. And it's a little bit harder to beat Deathstroke because it just requires more diligence and willpower. It's really difficult to get through all the bullshit. What do you think, Ricky? Because I own you pretty hard. What do you think?
Man, fuck you.
Okay, all right. What do you think, Rip?
I was actually gonna say, Ricky, are you gonna answer that?
No, I'm not. Especially because I wasn't paying attention. But
Good shit.
Nice. Basketball game on? Nice. No, yeah, I think that Deathstroke actually has a better 50-50 up close game than Superman does. And because I think Superman is limited up close. He doesn't, like, when I played Tyrant yesterday, I realized you just have to block low on Superman because he has no overhead that's going to hit you really quickly.
Yeah, I mean, it's true. That's not his. That's not the way he opens you up. Fab said it himself. He's a footsie character. I mean, he's all about the footsies and whiff punishing. So, and then he's got the long range game. He's got good Okazemi, and he's got good lockdown. But he's not going to open you up with a 50-50, and he's not the only character in the game that has that issue. There are a lot of characters that don't have unseeable 50-50s. So when you do have that, I think it's like a bonus feature. I mean, Deathstroke has a bonus feature, and that's that he has an unseeable 50-50. The thing that keeps it kind of fair, at least with Deathstroke, in my opinion, is that the overhead, it is not a full combo launcher if you don't burn meter.
Right.
And even if you do burn meter, you have to burn 2 to get a full combo, and it's still only like 33%. So really, in the end, it comes down to damage. And the funny thing to me is, like, as much shit as we talk about this game, when you kind of sit back and look at it from like an objective perspective, it's not really that cheap, is it? Is it me? Is it me sitting from the Deathstroke, pedestal?
Deathstroke.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a Deathstroke. That's a Deathstroke opinion.
That's a Deathstroke opinion.
Really? Okay. All right.
Guns all day. It's not cheap.
Well, it's not cheap now. I mean, I thought it was cheap before, but before what I thought was if the guy really sucks and he hasn't put the time into beating or learning the character, he's just gonna get mauled. I mean, that's no question about it. But even then, it was proven that when people know the character, it was really tough. But now, everyone's tough. Even random Joey Jojo Jr. Shabadu is like a threat in a tournament, So, I mean, that's fair. I'll live with it, as long as they don't fuck him up anymore, I'll live with it. Did they nerf Lex at all, Fab?
No, not that I noticed. I mean, if anything, he needs buffs.
Right, exactly. But I mean, that's what everyone's saying about their characters. Ares players are bent out of shape. They nerfed him.
But my only buff is not as. I don't have complaints like everybody else. My only change, I would just want him to have a better jump. That's it.
Yeah, that's a big ass change.
I mean, he can't. Like, his jump makes matchups that could be fair, not like it makes it really bad. Like, Superman versus Lex could be fine if I could just jump. It would be it'd probably be a 5-5 matchup or something, or maybe 6-4. It wouldn't be that bad, but because I can't jump, it's like 7-3.
Yeah, one of the things that makes that match really bearable for Deathstroke is jump back 3. Like, when he's trying to walk up in your face and then you feel like he's gonna attack, you could just jump backwards and let him whiff it and then just land on his head. But without that, that would be a pain in the ass because the walk speeds are so shitty in this game. So, yeah, I don't blame you. How is his walk speed? It's pretty bad, if I recall correctly, right? Yeah, I know.
It's bad. It's bad, man. It's bad.
It's funny.
I mean, I think he's fine as a character. I think he has the tools he needs for the type of character he is. Like, I don't feel like they should make this better or make any other move better. They should leave his moves alone. I just feel like his jump height needs to be maybe a little bit more. Because a lot of people complain like, oh, if you give him a better jump, then jump axe is going to be ridiculous. But I'm like, it's not going to be a ridiculous move because it's -9 already. You can, if I do it too close to you, you can still punish it anyway.
Wow, I didn't know that. You could punish that shit?
Yeah, if I do it too close to you, I can. If you don't space it out, it's punishable.
So you can punish jump-ins in this game on block?
Not most.
Not most.
Wow, that's pretty wild. I didn't know that.
Yeah, because they didn't want it to be too overused, so they made it -9, so you have to use it as a spacing tool.
Interesting, interesting.
How does that work? I mean, because it's got such long range, so if you use it early in a jump, are you just totally safe, or does that make it even worse?
Makes it worse, right?
When I've used it early, I still got punished. I think if you try to use it as late as you can, maybe it'd be a little safer, but it's
That's usually how it works. I mean, it's a similar move to Deathstroke's jumping 3.
But if you do it a little lower, then it's safer. Of course, it's safer if you try to, if you kind of cancel your jump animation and do it right before you hit the ground, then it's safer. But
Yeah.
at most jump heights, it's definitely punishable.
Are you using a secondary as well, Fab? You
Yeah,
said
I'm using,
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman.
Yeah. May I ask why you're using only shitty characters?
She's not, dude. She's not
She
bad.
is ridiculous.
They keep saying that she's like the upper mid or even.
She is.
Nah,
She is literally. She is a toned down Superman. She is a toned down Superman.
You know
That's
there is a not toned down Superman in the game. You might want to try that character out. I don't know. I mean, Wonder Woman.
Everything that people use.
I think she might be better.
Better than Superman?
She has an air dash too. Dude,
that is the words of a Superman player.
That's
You're a
Fab.
damn fool, man.
Oh, you guys don't know Superman, dude. Fab, what do you think about that? You think she might be better than Superman once the game fleshes out?
No.
He just said she's a toned down Superman.
No,
How is
it's
a toned
fleshed
down
out.
Superman.
That's right now. I agree right now.
Yeah, she has the Superman movement. She has the Superman frame traps because her back 1-2 is +3. Her back 1 by itself is +4. It goes just as far as Superman's frame trap. She has good range with her whip stance. Her sword stance is really good.
But she doesn't have the zoning. That's the problem.
She doesn't have the zoning, so
And
that's
a big deal because all these Superman shitheads, once they have the lead, they start getting real annoying with those eye lasers, and they keep you from getting in. I mean, basically, she is like Superman minus this huge piece of the pie. It's like buying a pie with a huge slice missing.
She has a better mix-up than Superman. A lot of people say she doesn't have a mix-up, but she has mix-ups. Like her whip and her standing 3-3 is, you can't see that. You can't see overhead back 2 and or standing 3. You cannot see that.
So the trade-off, you lose the zoning, but you gain 50-50s in close.
Yeah, she has good 50-50s. She has good meter setups too. Like if you don't want to use meter, like let's say you do whip, if you do whip overhead and you do her whip overhead into that whip grab, if you don't meter burn it, you do 2 dashes and then you get a meaty mix-up setup again where you can beat out anything they do, as long as they don't do a invincible reversal and wake up. But if they try to get up any other way in terms of backdashing or trying to attack you with a normal, you always beat it out. It gives you a free meaty setup for another 50-50, and they have to reversal.
Interesting. Speaking of reversals, I just want to take this opportunity to let everyone in the chat or anyone who watches this know, because in the last week, I've had more people come up to me asking about the wake-up timing in this game than ever. And these are good players. Even like, who was it? X-Blades and, people that know how to play the game. They're like, what the fuck? You're doing wake-up attacks and I'm not. How do you do it? First of all, my first recommendation for people struggling with wake-up attacks is mash the fuck out of it. You have to. This is Mortal Kombat, and when the same engine, and when you're dealing with this engine, you have to, it's muddy controls, so you just gotta mash it. I use a pad, of course. Now, the problem with mashing wake-up attacks is it gives the opponent a tell that you're gonna do a wake-up attack. So what you do is when you don't want to do a wake-up attack, you fake mash. Boom, 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 boom. Nope, nothing. And then you're free wake-ups. I mean, that's what you have to do, because the game, in this game, unlike in Mortal Kombat, or at least as far as I remember, every type of knockdown has its own timing for wake-ups. So it's really hard to be like, oh, he knocked me down with this, let me get up with this reversal perfect timing bullshit, when the game feels like you're playing God of War or something, So what you have to do is you just have to mash. That's the only good advice I have. And I mean, what do you guys think about that wake-up timing? It's an issue for a lot of people.
I've been having a problem since day one, and I knew that it was because of the whole knockdown timing. I mean, if you don't know every single string knockdown, then you're not going to know the timings. So mashing is obviously the only way.
I don't know if I really agree with. I don't know if I really agree with that. I haven't had any trouble with waking up with a reversal because I didn't mash.
What's Lex's wake up attack and how do you do it?
The dash, right? The big body dash.
Yeah, that's the big the big body dash. Yeah.
Yeah.
And how do you do it?
It's a back forward motion. So in it's 6 frames also.
That's why it's easy to do, because the move itself impacts before the invulnerability frames are over.
But there are some wake up attacks that are not attack invincible, and there are some that are throw invincible, and vice versa. There's different properties to some wake up attacks also that people don't know.
As far as I know, every character is assigned X amount of moves that have invulnerability on wake up. Some characters have one. In Deathstroke's case, he only has one, which is the sword spin. But some characters have multiples. Like Superman has the upward grab, the downward grab, and the dash Superman punch. So all three of those have invulnerability. So, I mean, it's just a matter of figuring out which move does it, right?
Well, it's different. Like, all right, for what I said about the some have throw invincible and some aren't. Because Lex, one thing I do with Lex is people ask why I throw a lot. I throw a lot because his meaty throw, if I time a throw meaty with Lex, it beats some reversal attacks in the game. But it won't beat like Superman, for example. It'll beat his low wake up. I don't know the notation for it, but the low swipe that he does on wake up. If I time a meaty throw, it'll beat that, but it won't beat the dash up reversal. It'll never beat that. So there's some that, like I said, there's some that don't beat everything. You just got to figure it out. There's some that do not beat everything.
So you're saying that there is a separate assignment of some wake up attacks being specifically throw invincible?
Yeah, some are throw invincible, and some aren't.
I did not know that.
Yeah, that's why meaty throws are really good in this game. So I think it's a system that we're not really using. BL is using it.
Yeah, I'm learning stuff about this game every day. I forget who it was yesterday, but they said that all you got to do to block low cross-ups is hold down. Like, you know how Catwoman can do the EX cat dash across your body when you're waking up? You don't have to guess a mix-up there. You can just hold down and it blocks both directions.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I didn't even know about that. That's super good. You could do that against Green Lantern, too, for his battering ram cross-up on wake up. Just hold down.
I told you that.
Who gives a shit? That's really cool, man. I didn't know that. Anyway.
And let's talk about Batchick, man.
Oh, Batgirl? I can't believe that they allowed such a ridiculous oversight. I mean, it's like, you know how Arturo's always talking about, yo, ban the testers? Yeah, it's a blow up. It's a blow up. So what I'm wondering is, where are the testers? What the fuck are they testing if they are not even pushing the meter burn button on one move? Let me just push one button.
You, man.
One button.
They testers from testing.
What are they testing? I mean, what are they testing?
That's like the kind of glitch, like, if you were to have, like, higher testers, you give them that game, it's like, all right, find the glitch with this character. And then, you know, they just do it once, like, oh, that's the problem.
They should be fired immediately. They should be executed via firing squad. That is just the biggest thing I've ever seen slip by, you know, like, that's unbelievable. Free EX, I mean, what are they doing? That's a crazy, crazy oversight. And
well, technically, it wasn't free, though.
The move itself gives you enough EX to meter burn it. And it's a capture fireball that's uncrouchable.
Well, I mean, if you have 4 meter, it's gonna leave you at 3 meter, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but what if you have no meter?
Anything below 1 meter, you can use it still.
Good to go, easy money.
Saying, it still uses up some meter, that's all I'm saying.
Well, it's a catastrophic mistake, and I mean, I do not understand how that could make it past anyone. I mean, anyone. It's just very hard to swallow that, but obviously it's going to be fixed. They already fixed the Infinite, like, immediately after it came out. Right. What I wonder about that Infinite fix is, were they like, holy shit, somebody call 16-bit, he's fired? Or was it like, you know, like, oh, damn, we forgot to tie our shoelaces, let me fix it right now. I mean, how does this stuff get through? I don't know. I don't understand it, dude. It's out of control, really.
And just so people know, I mean, the Infinite is passed out, so if you hit an input between it and then try to do it again, it's not going to work, right? They're going to be able to block it. But it's still, the meter problem is still there. Like, they can still do it right now for free, basically. Anything less than 1 meter will still count.
And in my opinion, that needs to be... the character cannot be used in tournament if that's the case. That's my opinion. I was arguing with Alex Valle, which is as good as arguing with the fucking Wallaby or something, you know? It's just, why am I even arguing with him? And he's like, well, you know, they fixed the Infinite, whatever. But in my opinion, I honestly think that character is not, like, usable in tournament at this point because she doesn't have to have meter to burn EX. And it's a uncrouchable fireball. What's up?
Yo, look what Huberdozer is saying, dude. He's saying, you're fingering the game, Eris. This is how NRS intended it to be, dude. Stop fingering the game.
I don't think it's how they intended it to be.
They intended that Infinite to be there for that one day so that we can all just have fun.
They took the other part out. They left the other part in.
Yeah, whoops. Yeah, that's the way they wanted it. Maybe that's true. Maybe she's like a very specific, you know, situation. They want her to be the only one that doesn't need meter to use meter.
Because her train sucks so bad.
It makes about as much sense as the Superman nerf and Black Adam not being nerfed at all to me. I mean, what the fuck is up with Black Adam not being nerfed? That is crazy. That character is a piece of shit.
What is your issue with Black Adam?
I just think he's really good. I think he's just a really well-rounded character that's easy to use and does too much damage for what he does, like for the versatility that he has. Forward dash, back dash. You know, too good.
Yeah, he's very versatile. He's very. But what would your nerf be to Black Adam?
I think that they should make the dive kick more punishable. That's one thing that I think they should do, so that you have to pick the spots. If I have to pick when I shoot a gun, he should have to pick when he shoots a fucking dive kick. You know, I mean, that piece of shit character can be like miles away from you and closes his. He doesn't even have to aim. That's fucking just gonna fly in and ruin your Christmas. You know, I mean, and then the damage. That's the thing. I wouldn't even mind the dive kick if it's not gonna lead to 55% combos.
Just be gliding on people. This shit looks funny as hell. Just gliding on you like.
Yeah, I know, man. He's on the luge and shit. Yeah, man, that fool's fucking luging like he's on the Jamaican bobsled team all the way down and doing full combos. You know, it's really good. I don't think it's super cheap. I'm being just very annoyed by it, but I think it should be patched if they're gonna patch things like Deathstroke. Because, okay, it's fair enough. He was pretty solid, Deathstroke was. But obviously, Superman, Black Adam are really taking over a lot of tournaments. And I think he should be dealt with, in my opinion.
They should normalize his damage so he only does 2% less.
Yeah, I agree. And normalize something, man. Normalize that fucking luge.
I don't know, man. I think he's fine for a few reasons. I think he's fine because his damage is high. But he's a character that has 1,000 overheads and only 2 lows. So and his other low, the lightning bolt down, is punishable if he just tries to take the risk to do it in your face to really mix you up. So he doesn't really have a great mix-up. I mean, on Wednesday night fights, his mix-up is amazing because everybody ducks him still. But
yeah,
you know, this is like Superman, by the way.
But, speaking of everybody ducking, sorry to interrupt you, Fab, but what's up with Rio getting owned up by the low from Aquaman all day? I didn't understand that. He never ducked that low.
You know what? I didn't even watch that.
Okay,
so
okay.
I didn't watch that.
Anyway, go on. Everyone at Wednesday Night Fights sucks. Go on.
Yeah, they all suck, and they all still duck Black Adam for no reason. So that's why Black Adam is so crazy over there, because everybody just decides to duck a man that only has overheads. I decided that I decided I'm just gonna jump all the time. That's my strat. But his dive kick is cheap. But that's like the cheap thing that he has. Like every character has something that's cheap. But that's like his cheap thing. But if you can you can, and it is possible to armor back 3 on reaction if you have meter and wall bounce.
No, let me tell you why it's not possible. Let me tell you why. Because he has another fucking dive kick. He has another dive kick that he can do from full screen. That if you try to react to a dive kick, like he jumps in the air from full screen and does the short dive kick, you meter burn your bullshit and you just lost meter, and he could punish you. I thought of that strat already, Fab. They will fuck that up big time.
Okay, Aris, I've played against a lot of Black Adam, and I've watched Wednesday nights, and I have not. And you could go to the archives. I have not seen Black Adams over there do that much.
No, I know, but it is something that I tested. It's they don't listen, player. I don't judge my basis on the game on my competition at Wednesday Night Fights. I judge it based on what I think is possible. There's a lot of stuff in the game that nobody at Wednesday Night Fights does to me at all. And I'm not gonna go and tell everyone how to do it. They could all go fuck themselves.
No, I agree.
You know?
I know.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying. But I'm just saying though, they want the damage and they want to get the dive kick, so they're gonna have to go for the regular dive kick. I mean, I have not seen them do what you said.
No one's done it, but you can do it. And when they do it, it's bad. It's bad.
Yeah, obviously, they can do that and make you waste your meter and whatnot. But they haven't done it yet because they still want to keep just going ham and doing the fucking cool runnings across the screen. so back three their asses for it, man. Like that, that as simple as that. So it's like Black Adam, I don't know if he really deserves it. Maybe his damage needs to be toned down a bit because it is like it is for 1 meter getting like 50 something damage is kind of ridiculous. But his mix up is not really that
But
great.
there's more to the character too. As far as wake up attacks, he has some of the most complementary.
Yes.
He has
Yes.
fucking the cage, the raging storm beats everything, cross ups, fucking everything. And then if you're thinking, okay, I'm gonna wait for him to do the raging storm, I'm gonna space it out. He also has that the Emperor Force electricity thing. That's also a wake up attack, and it reaches past the Raging Storm range. So his wake-up game, when you knock him down, is exceptionally good compared to every other character. There are vortexes that you can't even run on him. So I don't think that it's fair to say that the only cheap thing Black Adam has is his dive kick. He has the damage. He has the trait that can chip you out. And there's a point in a match where if he turns that shit on, I mean, it's over. You're fucked. What are you going to do? You can't make comebacks.
A pixel.
Yeah, it comeback. He nullifies comebacks. His wake up game is extremely good. I mean, yeah, he doesn't have a solid low, but he's just real. If he had a solid low, he'd be fucking too good.
Yeah, he'd be too good.
You know,
there's ways. No, go ahead. What you gonna say?
His overhead spring starter is also plus on block, right? So you can do like a down jab into the lightning bolt in your head thing, and right after it too. So it's like, okay.
Yeah. Imagine if Superman's forward 2-3 started as an overhead. That would be kind of fucked up, you know?
And then I can down jab meter breath you afterwards.
Exactly, down jab, and you can't jump out of the down jab afterwards. So it's a real pain in the ass. I think Black Adam is a piece of shit character.
I mean, I don't know, man. There's things people can do that's still not doing. Like, especially if you, I mean, the one thing about fighting Black Adam is definitely paying attention to how much meter he has, and also knowing what you can do on his recovery. Like, for example, if I'm fighting with my character Black Adam versus Lex, and he does lightning bolts, I know, okay, from mid distance I can neutral jump and corp charge across the screen and punish it, which everybody doesn't have access to. But I'm just telling you, I'm just trying to make an example of things you can do about what he has.
Right.
If he does it from full screen, I can neutral jump and land and get a free orb, and I can put a free orb in the air if I can't do anything about it. So there's holes in recovery that other characters have to exploit things. I just feel like people are just going overboard with like, this needs to be nerfed. I don't think he's that. I don't think. Of course he's like a top tier. Every game's gonna have a top tier, but I don't think he's that bad. His wake up attack without meter, if you neutral jump it, he's fucked.
Well, okay, here's something I want to say, and I feel like the conversation went in this direction by accident. Now, I agree with you 100%, and before this patch, I think that the game should have just been left alone for fucking 6 months at least. I don't think anything should have been patched. Anything should have been nerfed, and which is a fucking miracle because NetherRealms made the game. So in the grand scheme of things, I agree with you 100%. Black Adam doesn't need to be patched, but neither did Deathstroke. Now that we know this is the real world where NetherRealms controls this shit, they're gonna fuck everything up. We know it. So instead of thinking, I don't think Black Adam should be patched, we should take more of a, we know something's gonna happen to the game, so let's at least like think of how things should be changed, because they're gonna change it without a doubt. They changed everything in Mortal Kombat 9 over and over, and the community was on a roller coaster ride the whole time, you know. So yeah, I mean, it's gonna change anyway. That's the thing.
If it is going to be changed anyway, I think the number one thing that should happen is his dive kick does need to be punishable if they don't do it at the right arc.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
More, it's already punishable if they don't do it at the right arc, like, but more punishable.
Yeah, it's too, in my opinion, it's too risky to attempt to punish because visually it's very hard to see if it was blocked above the waist or below the waist. So, and that has a lot to do with that dive kick thing you were mentioning. The first thought I had was, yeah, just meter burn whatever the hell it's called. But it's really tough if they're just neutral jumping and doing straight down dive kicks. You'll just waste a lot of meter. You know, one thing we didn't end up talking about is ECT. How do you guys feel about the top results for Injustice? Are you still unimpressed, Rip?
No, I was much more impressed this time. I mean, the top three for this was much better than the top three of the big two that I watched before. I mean, I was unimpressed with their inability to clash once in a while, you know. Whole matches going away like that. That was kind of sad.
Oh no! Tom Brady was really good at clashing when he had no meter versus Rio's all meter.
Oh, good at
Rio just wasn't good at clashing when he was gonna die.
I don't know what you guys are talking so much shit about. I do that all the time.
Dude, he had the thing was Tom Brady made this sick comeback by hitting 3 combos in a row on Rio's full life bar, second life bar, and Rio didn't clash once.
Yeah.
Like, what is that about? three
No
combos
point.
in a row. No,
No
point.
point.
No point.
That's
Point blank.
weird. I don't know. I didn't watch it, so I didn't even see that.
But
You
yeah,
know-
I was impressed at the level of play overall.
That was nice. It was good actually.
There was some sick stuff actually. There was one part I remember. I don't remember. Is Rio versus somebody? They were in the corner with the guy who has the gun that you can borrow, and somebody
Fuck that
meter
guy.
burned. Yeah, somebody meter burned him, slam it on him, and Rio meter burned back to kick him through the wall. That was really sick.
Yeah. No, it seems like they got it together with the meter burn to use the armor and then dash through the interactable to get some damage. It looks like they got a lot of that together, which is cool. Yeah, I kind of agree. I think they're all really solid. I was surprised to see so many people jumping around characters, especially Chris G. I didn't expect for him to be that type of a guy in this game. He stuck to Reptile really diligently in Mortal Kombat 9. So I was really surprised to see him jump around and go to Black Adam and shit. But, I mean, overall, it was really cool. I thought everyone played really well. I just wish that it wasn't so... I feel like, and I'm going to be totally honest here, historically, the people like Tom Brady and Perfect Legend and different MK players have like manipulated tournaments and like played in like grand finals that was kind of like rigged in a sense to make the game look better, etc., etc. And things like that, I think, it's like a boy who cried wolf situation, because now every time I watch them play, I feel like this suspicious feeling of like, are they even giving a shit? I mean, obviously they pot split. Are they even trying? Am I really watching something worth watching here? Because I mean, dude, why the fuck didn't he break her that? You know, I'm thinking about like, what is this? What am I watching? You know, what is going on here? And it's understandable. He is a human. You forget. A lot of people do that. I constantly am making mistakes and shit in that game, but it just feels like maybe there's one of those situations. What do you guys think about that? I know it's a little dramatic, but
That's it. That shit's gonna happen all the time, though. You saw the PR Balrog versus Filipino champ later in the day.
I didn't watch it.
Yeah, it's probably better that you didn't. I mean, shit like that happens all the time.
I guess
you know?
it does, but I mean, at least play it out.
Just-
It's cool with
yeah,
me
you-
if you pot split, but at least play it out to your best abilities. That's
Right.
like minimal. It's so important to me. And speaking about your best abilities, Fab, let's start talking about your Korean arch nemesis.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, let's switch gears a little bit and talk about
So-
Tekken.
The Armor King student became the master, huh?
Dude.
Nah.
I mean, okay. Let's talk about Tekken. First of all, how many entrants entered at ECT for Tekken? Do you know?
I don't know.
I just remembered that earlier when I asked you about how many people entered Injustice, someone in the chat said around 200, 206 or
206 they
something.
said.
That's a shitload. I'll
Damn.
find out. Hopefully, someone in the chat can let us know how many people entered Tekken at ECT. But how do you feel about the
26.
tournament overall?
The tournament was good. I mean, this tournament, not too many people came out from outside of East Coast, so for me it was just another East Coast event, with plus JDCR. So that's
Okay.
all it was to me. And I was super focused on Injustice, so I really just only time I went to the Tekken booth to see what's going on was when I had to play. Other than that, I was focused on Injustice, so I don't even know what happened too much in the matches.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was a regular tournament. Tournament was good. I know they said there was some crazy matches that that happened off stream. Like I know GM played JDCR off stream. I didn't get to see.
Why
it,
would
but
they run that match off stream?
You know what happened, and it's not to bash these guys or anything, because they did do a good job with the event. But I feel like they put Marvel too high. They put Marvel at such a high pedestal compared to everything else. Like the fact that we didn't have a top 8 because you guys want to run an exhibition match for 2 people using Hager and Hulk, and they
Yo, that
both
shit was
random as
really
hell.
sick though, man. That shit was
Yeah, it
really sick.
But I mean, I think every game deserves their top 8. Period. I don't think you should not have a game's top 8, especially when you have an international player come.
Yeah.
You should have your top 8. I don't think you should be no top 8 because we're gonna run an exhibition for 2 people going hand with Hulk and Hager. I didn't agree with that.
Yeah, I can get behind that. I mean, if you're going to respect the game enough to call it one of your premier games at your tournament, at least give it a top 8.
Yeah,
That's...
I mean, if Yeah, if you're gonna have an exhibition, okay, fine, but at least give people their top 8. It's not fair to take away somebody's top 8. It's not fair to take away somebody's top 8, you know, to run an exhibition. But that was a top 8 match, JDCR and GM,
Wow.
and Naklam played Rampage, which they said was a good match too. Aziz, he's our New York player that uses Jack,
Yeah.
double Jacks on Jack Bob. They said that match was pretty sick. But nobody got to see anything because we weren't on stream. So
That's too bad. And you know, I'm really surprised to hear that you were focusing on Injustice and not too much on Tekken Tag 2. I'm curious, how do you feel about the game now? I mean, last time I talked to you about it was SCR, and you had kind of an attitude of the game's new, and right now it's anybody's game, but the older it gets, the better we're going to be at it. And people like Run It Black or whoever you were talking about are just not going to be able to breathe anymore in the future. Now, how do you feel about that now?
I still stand by it. I mean, as the game goes on, I see more, people who are good and people who are not so good. Well, not so good, but people who don't have as much experience. I feel like it's going down the path of like people have to like get better and they can't just beat you if they're not as good, or if your matchup experience is around the same. But Running Black is, he's getting better. Nah, he's getting better. Because his problem was just his fundamentals was pretty wacky, but his he seems like he's getting better fundamentally. He's improving.
So why were you not that interested in Tekken during ECT? I mean, what's the reasoning?
Well, ever since Injustice came out, I didn't turn on my PS3.
Wow.
So I haven't played Tekken for about a month.
Wow, and you did relatively well. I mean, except against JDCR, you did really well. So I mean, that's pretty impressive. What's the problem? What's wrong with Tekken?
Not enough. I feel like there's not enough. I feel like the interest level is not there, and it's kind of hard for me to stay interested in the game when, like for example, Injustice is a fun game, so and everybody's playing Injustice.
Yeah.
And everybody's enjoying it, and there's so many sessions, and everybody's like, yeah, just come over and play, you can get better, this and that. So, I mean, it's so much easier just to play that and not focus on Tekken, whereas, like, you can barely get sessions. The tournaments, there's so many people in Core's Academy talking about how they want to play and how they want to get better. I don't see none of these people. So, it's pathetic to me that, so many people say they like the game and they want to play the game, but you never see these people at tournaments.
Yeah, yeah, the formula of Tekken Tag 2 has a flaw. I don't know what it is, but there's something about it. Because I think the game itself is really fun, but just nobody plays it. And I'm not going to go into all that shit, but I'm shocked. I had no idea that you felt that way about Tekken Tag 2. I did not know that whatsoever. As far as I knew, I thought you were going to be like, this is the sickest game. I play it all the time, and I love it.
No, the game itself is The game itself is fun, and I like it. But the community is kind of, where is it? People aren't showing up.
It's odd. It's odd.
That's my problem with it. Is that it's hard for me to stay focused in a game where it's like I'm focusing and practicing hard for a game where I don't even know if I'm gonna have people to play against.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's such a fucking hard game that it's like you put all this time and effort into playing something, being the world champion at Shaq Fu. Nobody fucking plays it. Why am I the world champion at this hard-ass shit? So I don't blame you. I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if this problem can be solved, but it just seems like across the board, a lot of top-level tournament players are kind of feeling the way you are. Like, dude, everyone's playing this other shit. Why am I not playing this other shit? And it's kind of weird. I don't know. What do you guys think, Rickstah?
My belief was that Tekken 6 was the one that killed Tekken.
Which is so weird. I think Tekken 6 is my favorite Tekken.
Yeah, I know. But what I'm saying, I'm just looking at it from basically from SoCal's point. Like, how many new players did Tekken 6 bring in for us? Like, that were tournament players that kept coming to tournaments.
No, it was like a handful.
Yeah, but you still have a handful for Tag 2.
Yeah.
But it's Tekken 6 was not the most popular game. And because Tag 2 is kind of just built upon Tekken 6, it made it harder for newer players to come in already. And to be honest, I think that Tag 2 is better at bringing in new players, but it's just the interest is not there.
I don't.
I mean, I'm just
go ahead, Rip.
No, what were you gonna say, Rick? Finish up.
No, because I mean, just look. If you just look at Wednesday Night Fights, I mean, how many of these players that show up to our Wednesday Night Fights are new players that we haven't seen in Tekken 6?
Right.
It's
And
rare.
then you look back, look at the Tekken 6 tournaments we had. How many of those players were new from that weren't there from DR? The only person I can think of really is Gallo. Everyone
There
else
was
pretty
more.
much.
There was more.
Like,
Shaolin,
Sonkin.
Berserk, Sonkin.
Well, Shaolin Berserk was playing forever. He just wasn't around. Sonkin, yeah, Sonkin.
And Nico and that guy SoCal Requiem. I mean, there's a list of players.
handful.
The only reason you don't remember them because they never fucking talk, and they never win anything. So it's like,
Well, that's not my problem.
yeah, I know, but dude, just because you don't remember them doesn't mean they don't fucking exist. These guys are
No, but-
never coming to Wednesday Night Fights.
No,
Fuck
but-
these new
but-
players, they're there.
No, but it's like they're playing the game now more, and they're more consistent at it. It's just Tekken 6 didn't have that in my opinion.
I think as far as the SoCal scene, Tekken Tag 2 killed the Tekken scene because there's no arcade cabinet at Super Arcade. I mean, it's like the big problem. I was talking to NYK about this recently. There's no way SoCal is going to be on the level that it was before. We're going to be weaker forever now that the arcade is gone. I mean, that's a fact. I do not want to fucking go to NYK's house or Sukin's house. I'm never going to go to Sukin's house. It's not going to happen. So
I mean,
go ahead, Fab.
oh, okay. I can kind of relate. I could definitely relate to that. The cat, not having a cabin because even when we had the console, and even when we didn't have the console version of T6, every Friday, random days during the week, maybe a Wednesday or Thursday, but every Friday, Chinatown Fair was packed for Tekken 6. We were all there playing, everybody was playing.
And the thing about a community like that is you get together, you get all your heads together, and you just like brainstorm.
Yeah, it was way more. It was way more fun. I think it was way more fun for people, and everybody had a consistent. It was like it was a part of your schedule. It's like after you get out of work, or maybe when you wake up, or whatever you finish doing during the day. All right, everybody's going to CF at this time on Friday to play Tekken Tag 2. To play Tekken 6. So I'm gonna go to the arcade and I'm gonna play.
Yeah.
It was just a part of your schedule. And Tekken 6 overall, to me, in my opinion, I think it was a little more popular. Like, I mean,
I agree.
Somebody told me that in Japan, Tekken 6 was number 1, number 2 spot for a while, right?
For years.
I don't know.
For years and years.
Yeah.
Tekken Tag is like number 6?
Yeah,
5?
super
It's
low.
like, I mean, the popularity difference is pretty big.
Huge.
And, and I definitely like Tekken DR and Tekken 6 better than Tekken Tag 2. I like Tekken Tag 2. I'm not saying I don't, but I like those other 2 games better.
I'm in the same boat. Boat, except for the DR. I don't like DR that much, but Tekken 6 I think is really good, and Tag 2
I'm
I
the
think.
complete opposite.
Whatever.
Just hang up on him.
Close out his window. No, what
Well,
I was
it's not
saying,
like you have anything interesting to say, Rip.
I was about to talk. I was letting you finish, jackass.
Whatever.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, look. So, going back to why our scene didn't really grow. I mean, before Tekken Tag 2 came out, we were talking about how what am I just gonna play the same 6 guys over and over again that I played before? And like that's kind of what we have now with Tekken Tag 2. So our scene isn't really growing competitively, at least. Like we've got Kayal, we've got Incognito now, and
those are the
Run
2
Black,
big
of course,
ones,
becomes
yeah.
Spy, right? But I mean, like overall, like the rest of us, we don't care to play the game as much anymore because we're still playing 90% of the same people that we've always played.
Yeah.
So every tournament we go to, it's the same thing. So I think that's why people are playing Injustice as much as they are, Tekken Tag or focusing more on Injustice because it's the new thing, more to learn. You already know a lot about Tekken if you've been playing the game because you're probably not a new player. You probably played through 6 and you know most of the game already. Separate from that, I think that Tekken Tag 2 specifically focused a lot on tournament players. Like, there's no scenario campaign. There's no Tekken Ball. The bonus feature they got is a fight lab, which teaches them how to play the game. There's nothing fun in here for a casual player or anyone new to getting into the game to be like, oh, this is so dope. I don't have to fight someone. I can just, like, do whatever. They need to do something for the casual scene because this game specifically, they focus hardcore on the tournament player, which they know is not even the core of their overall brand. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's an interesting decision. Go ahead, Fab.
All right, I was gonna say, what do you guys think about the solo mode situation? Because I feel like some people did get uninterested when they've heard that solo mode wasn't gonna be allowed. Do you think that the solo mode being allowed would have got some players into it, especially because they get to learn one character? And whether they stay with just one character learning 2 or not is another issue. But do you think that they would have kept interest if they could have just used that one character and went through the tournaments? Do you guys think that made a difference or no? in the tournament scene.
What do you guys think?
Early on, maybe, but at this point, it doesn't matter. But
Yeah, at
I
this
mean,
point, it doesn't matter.
if you would have kept it throughout, who knows?
I don't think it would have done shit.
It might have brought
Let me tell you why. Solo mode didn't exist in the original arcade version of the game. So they put solo mode into the game so that they could get those people that were like, man, fuck learning 2 characters. They wanted those people's money. So they put solo mode in. The results were still 7th place in the arcade rankings in Japan. So essentially, solo mode as a design decision was a failure. Because it doesn't succeed in terms of winning, and it also doesn't succeed in terms of making the game more accessible by new players. So, in my opinion, it makes the game uglier. I don't really care if it's banned or not because no one good's ever going to use it anyway. And it
just frame James.
Yeah, I mean,
no one good is ever going to use it.
Well, I mean,
Solo James.
I just
Solo James.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think the idea was a flop. It was like a last minute, like, oh shit, nobody likes Tekken Tag 2. Let's poop out this feature. Oh well, it didn't work out. I mean,
I forgot. I completely forgot about the original Tag 2. I mean, that was kind of a flop to begin with.
Yeah,
but. That might have been already the death sentence.
Well, the original Tekken 6 was a huge curly piece of shit, man. I quit that game immediately. That game was trash. And Tekken 6 BR is one of my favorite fighting games of all time. So it doesn't mean that they can't fix a game with a patch.
No, yeah, but changes from Ultimate or from regular Tag 2 to Ultimate was
Unlimited.
Unlimited was pretty minimal compared to the huge changes between BR and 6.0.
Yeah, I kind of agree.
Yeah, I mean it's weird because I mean, did you guys? I watched the interview Reno had with JDCR, and he was talking about how he feels about the game now compared to the how he felt in the beginning. Because a lot of those questions had to do with me asking JDCR those questions when I went to Korea for the second time. Because when I asked him about the game, his opinions were completely different. He said the damage was too high, and he said he doesn't know how he feels about the game because you could lose to people who are not as good as you. And this is coming from him, Nin, and Nee, and this is coming directly from them, and they all 3 said the same thing. So now JDCR does feel like the game is better. He feels like it's more solid. He doesn't feel like the damage is as bad. And I don't know if he's saying this because now he's winning, or because he really feels like that. Because to me, if you had that opinion, I mean, I don't know.
He's a flip-flopper, huh?
Yeah, I feel like it's a flip-flopper, man. I mean, you told me one thing when I went to Korea, and then now you say this. I don't know, man, because I think maybe it's just because you're winning now, but that's what I think.
People always give you the right answers right after they get a check, man. They'll tell you
Yeah,
whatever you want.
yeah. So I mean, I don't know how I feel about what he said, but the game for me is, I do feel like the damage is a little high. I feel like I like the game, but I don't know.
See,
a lot of breathing.
That's you know what it is, dude? It's really hard for, I think, all 4 of us to not like Tekken, and because we all love the game, we really love it, and especially a Tekken like this, where it's not like Tekken 4, where they took the game away. It's still Tekken. You still move the right way. You still break throws. You still have the wall positioning, everything. It's just, to me at least, it feels unnatural to have this many complaints about a Tekken game, especially one that functions so much like Tekken. It's really peculiar. I mean, the game itself is just so weirdly designed and so complex, and I think it's showing in the amount of people who are willing to put in the time to get good. But before we start wrapping things up and talking a little shit, I want to hear your specific opinion on JDCR, whether or not you think anyone in this country will ever stand the chance, and especially compared to in Tekken 6.
Okay. Well, I'll answer. One thing is that, do I think people will be able to beat him or stand a chance? I think so, but it's gonna take a while. I mean, you gotta remember, people gotta remember, like, oh, he's blowing everybody up, like the U.S. isn't good. I mean, we do have our faults because of competition and how much we play, but people ignore the fact that they've been playing this game, like Tekken Tag Vanilla was like, what, how many years? It's almost 2 years.
Yeah,
it's not 1 year, it's almost 2 years.
Yeah.
So you gotta count from Vanilla to to Unlimited to now. Like, you gotta count, you know, how long they've been playing. He has a huge advantage. You know, people can't just say, "Oh, you're getting blown up." They had the game forever.
I can honestly say that his experience in T6 helps him a lot too. It's not like he started from scratch. They've been super good in Korea since T6. So yeah, of course.
Yeah. So you know, they've been, and then they've had the T6 experience. But I do think people can get him. I mean, you know, I haven't really played him much. I only played him in tournament because every time I ask him to play, he says he's too tired or he doesn't want to play.
Ooh, he's dodging you?
But then I see him play everybody else on the, I don't know if it's because I beat him in T6. I don't know.
I don't know
what it is.
King, dude.
Maybe. I don't know why he doesn't play, you know, every time I ask him to play, but I haven't played him much. But when I played him in tournament, I felt that he still had the same weaknesses, and his weakness that he had in T6 is still the same. He can't block. But his spacing is amazing. So his movement and spacing is so amazing that it's hard to get him in a blocking situation. His blocking is suspect. That's always been a weakness I noticed out of JDCR. But I think people can get. I think they're beatable. I think they're beatable. I mean, when I played him, I didn't feel like it was out of reach. Like I you know, I mean, personally, I choked up on a couple rounds where the time was over and he hit me.
Oh my god!
I choked up a couple rounds. I mean, I dropped combos, but you gotta remember, I haven't even turned the game on for a month, so I completely forgot certain shit. Like, you know, but
way to be sponsored, bro. Way to be sponsored.
But I mean, you know, I forgot how to do certain things. It just slipped my mind to do certain combos or whatever. But at the end of the day, I didn't feel like I did that bad in grand finals. Like, you know, people he played that outside of Korea don't even get rounds or a game on him, period. I could have been up 2-0, but I choked it up on that time over thing. But that's besides the point. I don't feel like it's out of reach to beat these guys, man. I think people, especially after watching me fight him, should see that it's not out of reach to beat these guys. I don't think so.
You think by Evo is enough?
No way.
I think, it's
no way.
No way.
I disagree, man. I disagree. I think some players can do it, man. I have faith that some players can beat them.
Do you have
Can beat him.
I think it's possible, but it's gonna be hard.
Well, do you have any names in mind? I mean, go. You know, let's hear it. Who do you think can take on top level Koreans?
I think, to be honest,
Rickstah.
I mean, I think, you know, like I didn't do bad against him or Nee, so I think maybe if I you know, step my shit up, I can probably beat them. I think Majin stepped up a lot from T6 to Tag 2. Like little Majin has gotten a lot better.
Yeah.
He's got a lot. Yeah, I think Majin can possibly do it. I think Core can do it. Core hasn't had the chance to really play those guys, you know. And then in Core in the team tournament, Core ran through Nee like 3 rounds straight free, and he got mad about it too. Like he just shook like this, like, and then gave the stick to and gave the stick to Al. So even though it was one game, I mean, Core just ran, like, you know, Core could possibly do it. Maybe Anakin can do it. Maybe you know, maybe a lot of the top players from before, you know, maybe these guys, maybe we can still do it. You know, Jimmy, maybe Naps can do it. You know, Bronson, if he doesn't drop combos. I mean,
more people you gonna name here. Jesus
no,
Christ.
I mean, there's a lot of good players. No, but there's a.
He's about to say Rickstah.
Yeah, I mean, you're at that point where you're digging at the bottom of the barrel.
I mean, I'm just saying, there's a lot of players.
We're pretty far down.
I mean, there's guys that I think, I'm just saying that the top players that are currently in America, that I think they can still do it. The players from T6, I think, can still do it now.
I think that those players that you mentioned, most of them could do it if this were T6. But the big problem that we all have with the game, which is its lack of popularity, is the thing that makes people like NYCfab not turn on their PS3 for 6 weeks. So 6 more weeks and you're going to be 2 weeks away from Evo, playa. So
I mean, to be honest with you, ever since that, since ECT, I have not turned off Tekken.
All right.
So only because I had enough interest that I actually lost to somebody who's actually good in the game. Because my losses are super suspect, and I don't want to get into them rip.
Oh,
don't pull out your cell phone and start writing shit.
Dude, that shit is pretty funny, dude. Man, your excuses are really very you. They're very personalized excuses.
Man, listen, man. Some of these stiff ass people that beat me, get out of here. All right, like JD.
Rip, you gotta list off at least the two or three of them.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Number 1, I didn't miss my girlfriend. Number 2, I was jet lagged since Thursday. Number 3, I drank 5 Red Bulls. I was crashing. Number 4, I haven't really played Exalted that much recently. That's why. Number 6, Bloodhawk just started playing K-Bob again, so no experience against K-Bob right now. Oh, no.
Right now?
Here's the good ones, dude. It's hard on that controller.
Ooh, okay.
Equipment is a legit reason. If I didn't have to play Capos, I would have won that tournament.
Hey,
the last one is super legit.
Well, no, the actual last one is I was gonna do paper 2.
Oh wait. Okay, that one's legit too. Hold on, but
I was gonna do paper 2. That's an excuse. I mean, even in context, that's a bad excuse. I was gonna do that.
Hey man, I was gonna do that.
All right.
No, but I mean, playing JDCR though, it seriously it did make me get some type of drive to wanna turn my game on, because I was like, okay, holy shit, I gotta fuck him up for that.
Good.
So I mean, I started practicing Korean stick again, which I'm actually not bad at. It's just I just chose to use controller. So movement, because movement is an issue, and I feel like the movement on controller, I feel like I'm moving as fast as I can on the controller, as good, not even just fast, just as stable as you supposed to, and as advanced as you can on the controller. I still can't do it as well as maybe JDCR and the other Koreans, but I do feel like equipment is a factor. People say, oh, these guys' movement is so amazing, it's so crazy. It's obviously good, they practiced at it, but you're forgetting the fact that the Korean stick is the best thing to use for Tekken, because it goes back to neutral so fast when you're backdashing or wave dashing.
I mean, that's true to an extent. I mean, I've seen Japanese players do the same shit on Japanese sticks. Yeah,
but Japanese stick is not the same as using Korean stick, and you guys use Japanese stick, and it's like auto go back to neutral with no problem. So movement in terms of backdashing and wave dashing is gonna be, as long as you practice it. I'm not saying you just pick it up and then you can do what they do, but as long as you practice it, you'll get the same results on that stick. That stick is good for Tekken.
So what you're saying is that if you go put the same amount of time into pad, K stick, and Japanese stick, K stick, in your opinion, with the same amount of practice, is the best.
I think so, and JDCR also shared the same opinion on it as well.
Well, of course, he's gonna think that for sure.
I mean, yeah, but he has played Japanese stick, because he did go to Japan a few times, and he did say that, and he does move well on Japanese stick too. But he did say controller. He did say that controller, there's no way you'll be able to move like this on controller. And he thinks Japanese stick is good too, but he's not as good as using Korean stick, because, I think the reasons are obvious. Of course they're great players, but people ignore the fact that you can just do this on the Korean stick without an issue. People need to stop ignoring it.
I gotta stop you there, man. There is a huge issue. I know how to play on stick, and K stick is really a foreign device. The only reason, I don't even think it's that good. The only reason it's so good is because, yeah, you're right. It has a rubber tensioner that returns it to neutral faster. But, I cannot say that I've ever seen anyone do anything with it that's not possible with a J-stick.
Rip.
He's like a prop comedian on this show. He's always got shit locked and loaded.
I think stick. And stick in general, I think is better than could possibly be better than using controller. So
yeah, I
think Korean stick is a little better for Tekken, because it goes back to neutral so fast, so you don't have to be as precise. Japanese stick, of course, is really good for it, but I think pads is a little. I don't know.
Have you always thought this, or is this recent?
I've thought it for a while. Not so much. In the beginning of Tekken Tag, I noticed that since the movement is a lot better, I noticed it for sure. I think T6 people didn't pay much attention to it because the movement is not, as improved as Tag.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. So yeah, that's interesting.
I think playing on stick in general, Japanese stick or Korean stick is better, and I'm just choosing to use Korean stick because I feel like it's better.
Interesting.
It's better suited for me.
Does that mean you're gonna play K-Stick at Evo, or are you just testing it out now?
I'll probably play K-Stick by Evo.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I'm already I'm already pretty good at it. So, because I've been actually using it.
That's
here and there.
I'm gonna tell you as a friend. That's a shitty idea, dude. That's a shitty idea.
I'm gonna use it, man.
That's a shitty idea. If you play JDCR or any fucking any Korean players with a K stick, it takes a lifetime. Nin told me that he thinks it takes 2 years to learn how to play Tekken. 2 years competing in Korea. How are you going to learn how to use a K-stick playing against Exalted? I haven't played him for a while. And fucking playing Lex Luthor all day. In 2 months, Fab, I want you to win. Okay? You're representing my country. I cannot condone this Korean stick bullshit. 2 months?
Mm-hmm. I mean, well, if it doesn't work out, it's not like, you know, I could just pick up the controller and be like, okay, I'll play controller.
It didn't work out. Let me save you some time.
Yeah, there's a good case study. There's a really good case study for this right now. In SoCal, there was one guy on pad who used to own us up, and he's been using a K-stick for a while. He's pretty good at it.
He can't even beat Rickstah.
I know who you're talking about.
He loses to Rickstah all the time. He's losing to me now nonstop, man.
He can't even beat Rickstah. Incognito can't beat Rickstah on pad. Rickstah becomes JDCR when you switch. Okay? You don't want that. That's the last thing you need. All right? Anyway,
I'm just gonna try, but you know.
No, I'm not saying don't try. I'm just saying don't try. Yeah, don't try.
Don't try, but just don't.
Definitely don't try. But anyway, we gotta wrap things up. This shit's running a little long, but you guys know the drill.
We started real late. Let's do it.
That was all Fab's fault and Ricky's fault, not my fault at all. Anyway, okay, so you guys know the drill. We gotta do some bitch calling. I'm gonna go ahead and save. I guess chat. You guys can call whoever you want a bitch. You guys go ham. But I'll go. NYCfab, you're the guest. Go ahead, call someone a bitch.
Let me see. Who should I call a bitch this time? I haven't called anybody a bitch in a while. I want to call JDCR a bitch.
Good.
I'm gonna call him a bitch.
Oh. He doesn't understand what that means.
I think it's great that he learned how to speak English, and when I was talking to him at Job's house in Texas during MLG, I thanked him for learning how to speak English because it was like the opposite of Mad Dog Jin. It was so nice just sitting there and talking to that guy, and now look what's happening. He's talking shit in English. He's like, oh, how could the game be random if no Americans can beat me, amigos? Boom! In English. In English. I love that. Uh-oh. Camera just called you a bitch. Anyway. Anyway, okay, so JDCR is a bitch. Any more details on that, or are you just general bitch calling?
I'm just general bitch calling, man, because I mean, he doesn't, you know, I haven't even played this guy casual, and I've been at the same tournament with him, you know, a handful of times. I haven't even played him a casual, and I've only played him that one time in tournament, which I didn't do bad for not playing the game in a month. You could jot that down on your cell phone because I'm gonna body him next time. So.
Oh, okay, all right.
Jot that on your cell phone, Rip.
Hey, Rip, jot this shit down on your cell phone too. If this guy plays pad, I mean, if this guy plays K-stick at Evo, I'm gonna kill him. I'm going to kill him. You are not allowed. Because at this point, the U.S.'s Tekken defenses have gone down a lot. You are one of our last towers of defense. If you fucking play K-stick, I'm not going to be happy. Okay? I'm not going to be happy. Anyway.
There's already an excuse in Rip's phone to already like make the excuse for you.
Yeah, I would have won, but man...
Shouldn't have used K-stick. Anyway, all right. So JDCR is a bitch. Let's go with Rickstah. Who are you calling a bitch?
This one's gonna go a little bit back. I'm gonna call Bronson a bitch.
Okay. Right.
The only reason why is because he called me a bitch on one of your podcasts a while ago, and I just remembered that. And now I remember he was calling everyone a bitch, but he named me first. So fuck that guy.
You are. You know, when I think of the word, your face pops in my mind quite frequently. So yeah, Bronson is a bitch. I can get behind that 100%. He's also fat and he sucks at Tekken. So that's for sure. But I can agree with that. Okay, Rip.
Man, this is a hard choice. I'm gonna go with Fab because Fab that final round should have beat Kano, but still went to the stupid Miguel and lost to the Capo player.
Hey, why'd you do that? Why'd you do that, Fab?
Because he wasn't. He's not as good as me, so I didn't think I had to play double Bob, and then I was like, I can still beat him with Miguel.
You are definitely one of those, man. You're the reason I don't go to the movies anymore, man, dude.
I mean, hey, man, at least in losers, I came back and beat him like how many how many rounds straight, so it's
I don't
okay.
care. I was out of the tournament because of you at that point.
Yeah,
I would
really.
beat him out
Come
in the
on.
tournament.
You're really, honestly, before I used to consider you like one of the enemies, you know, but at this point, with so few people really putting and having the skill and putting the time into the game, I really am starting to get pissed off when people are at least not playing to their own best abilities. If you have a better team against Capos, you know, you're going to be reprimanded next time by me. I'm serious about this. Don't let this happen again. Anyway, so, okay, Fab's a bitch. Interesting. My personal bitch calling today, and Fab reminded me of this. I thought of it when he mentioned it earlier. Earlier, he was mentioning that, you know, he hasn't played Tekken in a while because so many of the Capcom guys and the other guys are playing Injustice. I'm going to call the SoCal non-Injustice, non-Mortal Kombat, and non-Tekken scene a bitch. So all the Capcom players that aren't playing Injustice, all the guys that are too Hollywood, like, you know, Mike Ross, or anyone who plays fighting games, has a pair of hands and a brain, which is all you need for Injustice, that isn't playing the game, all of you guys are bitches, because the game is super easy and a lot of fun, and we can all get behind something and play it together, you know? I mean, we're all there. It's a cool game. That's the thing that really pisses me off. So we don't have that here, by the way, Fab. I didn't mention it earlier. You said a lot of people are, like, you know, playing from Capcom and shit. Nobody's playing from Capcom. It's Mortal Kombat and Tekken, and that's it.
Wow.
That's it.
We even have, and the Capcom players that do play never show up anyways. Like,
Yeah, Flo and Wall.
Justin, Flo.
Yeah, and people like Online Tony, who was a heavy Mortal Kombat player, he doesn't even give an F about the game right now, or at least at all. So I don't know what's up with that. But anyway, chat, I think you guys have been calling people bitches this whole time. Do you guys have anything you want to plug? Oh, yeah, Rip, talk about your app real quick.
Oh, dude. So my Injustice app, it should come out tomorrow. I wanted to release it today, but I didn't get it done. Just some extra stuff I put in there. I got some screenshots. Check this out. Boom, boom, boom.
Oh, sick.
Are those upside down or backwards? No, that looks like it. So that's the kind of data that's in the app. It should be on the Android store tomorrow, and hopefully I'll get it up there on iPhone, iOS next week.
Well, what does
So
it feature? Tell us what it
Oh, it's got
features.
all the characters in Injustice. It's got all the basic attacks with all the frame data. It's got the combo attacks that are listed in the move, everything from the move list as well. So some of them is going to be incorrect for sure, but you can see on the left or right side, I'm not sure, it's Batgirl up there, and you can see that I added the full string stuff. So strings like, say, her 1-1 up 2-3, you can see there it's high, mid, high. You can't find that in the game anywhere unless you, like, you know, check it one part at a time or something, which is really dumb. So that's in the app. There's also a full combo section for every character. So there's combos, corner, meterless, open, mid-screen, whatever, for all the characters in the game, including DLC characters as well.
All right, everybody who's interested in that, check it out. It's going to be out tomorrow, you said, right?
Yeah, just follow me at REEPAL, whatever, and you should be able to see when I put it up live.
For sure. And, you know, not only is it a useful product, but it's also, you know, supporting the scene to people who are, like, you know, fucking struggling over here to get paid for devastation. That guy's a bitch. That guy's a bitch.
Oh, man.
Jedi Rob's a bitch. Because you know what? You this whole time you were like, dude, he hasn't paid us. He hasn't paid us. And I've been like, hey, you know what? He's a nice guy. He's always a nice guy. But when he starts saying, hey, I'm going to start buying all this shit on launch, when I'm worried about how I'm going to pay my rent, he's talking about buying Xbox One and PS3 on launch. All this bullshit, whatever. You know, that really fucking grinds my gears. That is just unacceptable. So that guy is also a bitch. That guy needs to pay everyone back immediately. And if he doesn't pay people for devastation, then he needs to at least shut up about buying new consoles when they launch. I mean, what are you doing? Fucking talking shit? I mean, it's like he's talking shit. I'm so frustrated. I'm turning things off in here. Anyway, so anyway, all right.
300. I could almost buy a new console with that, man.
That's your new console's going to him.
Going to his kids.
Yeah. Going to his kids. Unbelievable. Anyway, so yeah, that's bullshit. But anyway,
care about the kids, Rip.
How about you guys? Do you have like an AGE code or some shit?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Check out 15% off, man. ATP
Make it happen.
That promo code, get these headsets, man. Cause I mean, let's be honest, man. A lot of these tournaments, there's no sound with them Asus monitors. Plug in the headset, man. You have a whole bunch of ways to plug in this headset.
Cool.
Yeah, fuck AGE Fanatic though. Don't use that code. AGE
yeah,
Fab.
no, you want to use Fab.
It's so much easier.
Like, totally make it AGE stiff. That would be sick for you, dude.
AGE stiff.
Let me get this straight. Stiff is a bad thing, right?
It can be at times. It's used in many ways.
Versatile. Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. All right. And Rickstah, do you have any apps or any sponsors you want to plug?
No, actually, but I am streaming now. So
Oh, sick.
randomly, whenever. So
Good
just follow
shit.
me on Twitch at Rickstah, same thing as
3
on Twitter.
E's.
Yes.
Excellent. And you can all see all the Twitters over here on screen. It only took me hours to figure out how to do that. So make sure you follow all that stuff. And I'm going to go ahead.